On June the 17th, 2021, President Joseph Biden signed the Juneteenth Independence Day Act into law that established June the 19th of every year a new federal holiday.
I just remember Juneteenth, blackness, cowboys.
Historically, Juneteenth was not celebrated all over the country.
Galveston was liberated by former slaves.
It's really about emancipation as it relates to the District of Columbia.
Juneteenth is an important day in the history of not only Black America, but American history.
It's important historically to know, but
Juneteenth, also known as Juneteenth Independence Day or Freedom Day, is an African-American celebration honoring men, women, and children who patriotically fought for freedom and the rights of citizenship. This day marks the continued struggle for what the Constitution called "We the People."
The history of Juneteenth traces itself back to June 19, 1865 in Galveston, Texas,
when Union General Gordon Granger arrived with federal troops to enforce the Emancipation Proclamation, which had been issued by President Abraham Lincoln 2.5 years earlier.
General Gordon Granger commanded the District of Texas, issued an order number 3, informed the people of Texas that were enslaved were now free.
My family, our origins are from Galveston, and my great-great-great-grandmother, who was 13 years old and a slave at that time, was there when Granger came and made the announcement to the slaves in Galveston, Texas.
Before General Gordon Granger came into Galveston, the 25th Army Corps came in. And the 25th Army Corps defeated the Confederates. In fact, the 25th Army Corps ran them all the way to the Mexican border. The 25th Army Corps consisted of 1,000 men. 1,000 men who were former slaves.
The presence and actions of Black soldiers in the Union Army during this time were pivotal in the announcement and enforcement of marking the official end of slavery in Texas and contributing to the broader emancipation of enslaved African Americans. This momentous announcement marked the end of slavery in the state and marked jubilant celebrations among the newly freed African Americans. The date, June 19th, henceforth became known as Juneteenth, combining the words June and 19th.
When people think about Juneteenth, they don't know that there was a horde and an influx of Southern planters who kept moving further and further west to escape the Emancipation Proclamation, as well as the advancement of the Union Army. So there were several planters and several people from other plantations outside of Texas who were in that area, in that Galveston, Texas area, when General Granger came through with his order. And they knew that they were free, because why else would their owners have kept moving them further west?
So my grandmother decided that she would move from Galveston, Texas, and move to Fort Worth, Texas, because she said at least there she would be moving in a direction where she would not have to pick cotton. She did not want to pick cotton, and she didn't want her children to have to pick cotton.
I remember growing up in the Bay Area, California, I remember Juneteenth celebrations. I don't think I knew what it was at that time. It's celebrating our life. It's celebrating our legacy. It's celebrating how far we've come in a really short period of time.
For me, it's just a perfect opportunity, perfect time to make sure that we're focusing on family, on faith, our friendships, having a good time, enjoying life, but also making sure that we're paying our respects to the sacrifices that have been made so that we can live the lives that we're living, so that we can move around with the relative freedom that we have. I personally honor and take time to celebrate Juneteenth, whether that is explaining to my son the history of slavery and how we came here to North America, to whether we are going out and celebrating at one of the many events here in the district and in the region.
Once slavery was abolished, the journey of finding and reuniting with family members was a testament to the human spirit's resilience and the enduring bonds of family. The reunion of families separated by slavery was an arduous process and often required a great deal of effort, determination, and sometimes luck. There were a number of ways the former slaves attempted to find their loved ones, from word of mouth, traveling to different cities, the Freedmen Bureau, and the church community, also by way of advertisements in local newspapers.
Juneteenth is very important. I grew up in Mississippi, and I've always celebrated Juneteenth. Now I just say the rest of America just caught up with us. It's very important because if you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're going. And it also shows just how important it is to share information. Juneteenth, it celebrates the passage of information. Like, this is information that should have been shared immediately, yet there was over a year passed before people found out that slavery was over with.
We as a race of people have always had to fight and prove who we are. And as you grow older, you see the same mistreat and disrespect, but on another level. We can fight the good fight of faith. We can stand for what we believe, but we don't always get the respect.
When they found their loved ones, the reunions were moments of profound joy and relief, a testament to their endurance and love. These reunions were celebrated with feasts, music, and dancing, a moment to reclaim their humanity and dignity.
So at the National Museum of African American History and Culture, we have started an annual Juneteenth celebration day. This year, there's going to be food, music, crafts, moments to reflect and remember, moments to wander through the museum to understand not just Juneteenth, but put it in its context of like I said, the story of American history through an African American lens.
My grandfather and them were free, so they always celebrated in certain months, going down to Haynes Point. So it may not have been recognized until that moment, but in Washington, D.C., we have always recognized June as a Haynes Point kind of moment.
And what sustains people, black people in general, is historically has been the black church, the black family, and education.
We honor the strength and resilience of those who endured the horrors of slavery. We celebrate their freedom, their reunions, and their contributions to the nation. Juneteenth is not just a day of remembrance, but also a celebration of freedom, resilience, and the enduring power of family as we march towards We the People.
Now, Americans everywhere can celebrate freedom from the 19th of June to the 4th of July. You see, children, the 4th of July freed the land, but Juneteenth freed the people.